Hi friends! I'm so happy you're here today because I will be talking about my 23 in 23. Finally, I have compiled the list and I'm doing all paperbacks from Hal. I was really trying hard to get all physical copies of these books, but that hasn't happened. Maybe it will happen at the end of 2023, but some of these are available on KU and cheap on Kindle, so I've already acquired some there. But let's get right into the list because it's 23 books and hopefully I've gotten the synopsis of these right. I was trying to memorize them all today before filming, so hopefully I got them all right. So I'm starting off with B.C. Andrews' Flowers in the Attic. This is mentioned in the Paperbacks from Hell, the Grady Hendrix book, and yeah, this is a YA story about a brother and sister, I believe, who goes to live with their aunt after their parents die in a car crash, and some stuff goes down in an attic. This is long. This is longer than I thought it would be, and yeah, I haven't read this ever, but I kind of know what goes down that makes it horror. And the next book is The Nestling by Charles L. Grant. This is about like a bird creature that is like terrorizing a town, and Kelsey actually sent this to me for Halloween as like a Halloween goodie, so I'm super excited to read this. And this art is actually featured in Paperbacks from Hell. Pretty much everything I talk about is in Paperbacks from Hell, pretty sure, because that's where I got the idea, because I've been working on this list forever. So yeah, thank you so much, Kelsey, for The Nestling, and I'm so excited to read it this year. And the next book I'm planning on reading in 2023 is The Disembodied by Robert W. Walker. This is available on KU, I do know that, and this is about a psychic adventurer who ends up hideously butchered, I believe that was in the title, like cut up into pieces, and his assistant, who that was her mentor, is still psychically connected to him, and she has to figure out who this serial killer is, and he's disembodied. Yeah, it sounds like Paperback from Hell. And I'm so excited to read this. And stay tuned, it might be a pick for a certain book club in March, and I'm super excited for that. The next book that I got on Kindle is Toy Cemetery by William W. Johnstone. This is about a guy who is always haunted by his aunt's doll collection or toy collection, and he ends up having to go back to her house when he's an adult to like take care of the property, and some stuff goes down. From what I've seen about this book, it looks like it's kind of like short stories, I think, about toys. I might be totally wrong, but I am very excited to read this in 2023. You know, creepy dolls are right up my alley. And the next book I talked about in my recent book haul video, and that is The House Next Door by Anne Rivers Siddons. This is about a haunted house next door. Some strange stuff is going on. I think it's like a haunted house story told from the perspective of the neighbor, which sounds super interesting. And then The Searing by John Cone. This is about an event that is going to take place that is going to like a woman's gonna have an experience, apparently, like a nationwide broadcast thing where a woman is gonna have an experience. I just said that. I don't know how else to describe this book. I read the synopsis on my book haul, so I won't bore you again by reading it, but yeah, I hear this one is very interesting. Question mark. So the next book I'm super excited to read in 2023 is The Reaping by Bernard Taylor. This is like a Rosemary's Baby style book, but it's a guy who's the main character, I believe, and he's commissioned by this woman to come to like this weird castle. I think it's like a castle or like a remote location to do a portrait, and some craziness ensues. I'm super excited for this. I'm really intrigued by this cover because it looks like there's like nuns like walking away. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this in 2023. And going back to my little card here, so the next books I'm going to read is The Strange Seed by T.M. Wright. This is actually, I think it's all 5 books in once that I got on Kindle, but I'm gonna read the first book in it and see if I like it. If I do, I'll continue with the series because it's like about the same town, I think. So this sounded really strange. So this is about newlyweds moving into a new house that is like very remote and is surrounded by woods. And there's some weird stuff going on in the woods. There are like abandoned children in the woods. That's what it said in the synopsis, and the wife is like, that's weird. She brings it up to her husband. Her husband's like acting really strange. So this sounds so weird, but I'm excited for it. And then Burnt Offerings by Thomas Tyrone. I believe this is available in Scribd as well. And this is like a folk horror book. I think I've seen this movie like a long time ago. And I remember it being really slow, like a slow burn. But I'm still excited for this one. Going back to my stack. Evil Intent by Bernard Taylor. Did I just talk about Bernard? The Reaping will also be reading by Bernard Taylor. This is like a revenge story. Apparently everybody's on this guy in this town. They make fun of him for years and years, and he's like, I'm gonna get my revenge, but I'm gonna get it with magic. That sounds ridiculous. But yeah, I think that's what happens. Or maybe like some satanic stuff is going on. I'm super excited to read this. I did find this one in the wild, which is always fun. And the next one is Mystery Walk by Robert McCammon. I was supposed to read this last summer with Kelsey, and I did not end up doing it. I was a bad buddy reader, and yeah, I'm really excited to read this. This is about like a good and evil story. I don't know too much about it, but I loved Usher's Passing, and I know I'm going to be reading a ton of Robert McCammon books in 2023. I will also be reading Swans Song. This is part of the list. This is for Kelsey's book club Midnight Society pick for February, but it's a long one. It's kind of like The Stand. It's a pandemic book, I believe. So yeah, I'm really excited to read both of these McCammon books in 2023. The next book is Night Blood by T. Chris Martindale, and I am so excited to read this. I hear great things about this book. This is about a Vietnam veteran who, when he comes home, his brother is killed in Central Park, and it's like very mysterious, and basically his brother ends up figuring out that he was killed by a vampire, and he has to hunt vampires. So he comes back from war, and now he has to hunt vampires. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this one, and the cover is great. Of course, like all these reprints are really, really great. The next book is Children of the Night by Dan Simmons. I also found this one in the wild too. This is a great cover. My local bookstore actually has the hardback of this, and I'm like, do I need it? Every time I go in, I'm like, do I need it? No, I have the paperback. It's okay. Yeah. So this one is about a baby who gets a blood transfusion in a remote village in Romania. And the baby's an orphan, and it starts to show signs of like curing diseases. It's like a vampire story. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I love a Dan Simmons book, and yeah, I can't wait. The next book I'm planning on reading is the Blackwater bind up. These are actually 5 books like all into one, but I'm just going to count them as one. This is by Michael McDowell, and this is like his saga. This is like a fantasy horror Southern Gothic book, and I'm super excited for it. I don't have a physical edition, but I did get the audio like last year when there was like a sale, and I got it really, really cheap. So I just need I need the 5 original, right? No, that probably won't happen. I'll probably just get the bind up. But this is about a family, I believe, that has certain powers. I might be wrong. I try to be very vague with McDowell books going in because I just want to be treated to discovering stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. I have very little McDowell books left to read, so I'm kind of sad about it, but also excited to read this in 2023. The next paperback from hell I am beyond excited to read is The Pack by David Fisher. I do not have this one yet, but it is a reprint one, so I will get my hands on it eventually. This is about a and I don't think it's rapid, like a wild pack of dogs on an island, like hunting down humans. And I don't know why that just sounds so fun to me. I'm like, yeah, the dogs, yeah, get it done, dogs. The next book is Black Ambrosia by Elizabeth Instrom. I have another Elizabeth Instrom on this list as well. This is a vampire book, so lots of vampire books. I love the cover of this. I will get my hands on this, on an edition of this eventually, but yeah, all I know is that it's a vampire story and I'm super excited for it. My next Elizabeth Instrom book is Nightmare Flower, and this is actually a short story collection, and I'm nervous, I will say that, after reading When Darkness Loves Us, which is just an 80-page story. That story stuck with me. I haven't even read the other story in that book yet, Beauty Is, because I'm a little nervous. But yeah, these are all short, so I think there's 18 short stories in this one, and I'm nervous because even though they're probably really short, they're probably really disturbing. And another Elizabeth Instrom I got is Lizzie Borden. This is kind of like, I guess like a retelling, like an alternate history of Lizzie Borden, or like her point of view, I guess. It kind of reminds me of that show, when I read the synopsis, it reminded me of that show Christina Ricci did, where she plays Lizzie Borden, where she's like, ugh, like, I'm so annoyed with everything. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. And yeah, I love this cover too. I got this off of thrift books, so I was happy to find it. I actually had to like get to the mark to get free shipping. But yeah, super excited to read some Elizabeth Instrom this year, to be disturbed, yes. Sorry if I look different, my camera battery died, but I only have 4 more books to talk about, so let's do it. So If You Could See Me Now by Peter Straub. I don't know too much about this one. I think it's like a ghost story. Maybe I'm just saying that because his other book is Ghost Story that I read, but I think it's like a return to home creepy situation. And then the other by Thomas Tryon. I always want to say Tyrone, I don't know why, but this is a ghost story, and I think the Paperbacks from Hell is actually like kickstarted. It's kickstarted. It actually starts off with the other talking about it, so I'm very excited to read this. And it has these old school sprayed edges. And then Gwen in Green by Hugh Zachary. This is about a woman, a newlywed, who they end up like moving onto their own island, and then learning about something really bad happening there. So I'm so excited to read that. That's eco horror. Yeah, I'm here for it. And then the last book I actually just got in the mail from Kelsey, a late Christmas present. Kelsey is the best. Go subscribe to her channel, Slime and Slashers. I will link it in the description box down below. But she got me a little nest of nightmares. Oh my gosh, by Lisa Tuttle. A little nest of nightmares. Maybe I was thinking that because there's like baby birds on this cover. This is a short story collection. I've actually been hearing great things about it recently. Erin Megan talked about it on her top 10 for 2022, and I was like, oh, because it's a paperback from hell. I was like, okay, I need to check that out. And of course she's like, yes, you're going to love it. But this is a short story collection. I do have a tough time with short story collections. Sometimes I will read like 1 or 2 and then I'll like put the book down forever and never pick it up. But I'm making this a priority, and this will be the first one that I read in 2023. My first paperback from hell. I don't know why I'm doing this, but this is it. And there you have it. Those are my 23 and 23 all paperbacks from hell. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Are you excited to read any of these books? And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.